So we're going to start in a seated position today. Find yourself in a comfortable seated position where your spine is tall and long and at ease. Most of yoga is really about the spine. Everything else moves off of it. If you don't have good spinal mobility, you will not have good mobility of your hips or your arms. So we are doing a shoulder class today, but that does mean that we will be exploring mobility of the thoracic spine, the spinous process that's between your shoulder blades. Because if that doesn't move, your shoulders don't move. So just in an easy seated position, close your eyes for a moment. Begin to bring your awareness to the body, to this motion, by taking a deep inhale through your nose to the bottom of your lungs so that you feel your ribcage expand. As you exhale, just notice the sensation of the air as it leaves your body. Another deep inhale, lengthening your spine. With an exhale, gently let your chin drop down towards your chest. There's no pinching, no pain. If it doesn't feel comfortable for you, just raise your chin up a little bit. Find a position of ease. Feeling that stretch gently up the back of your neck, keeping that spine tall and long. With your next exhale, let your right ear drop to your right shoulder. So the stretches between your left ear and your left shoulder. If you'd like, you can gently push that left elbow down towards the floor to increase that stretch. And then you can play with the position of your chin. Turn it up towards the ceiling, turn it down towards the floor until you find that sweet spot. The place where you feel the stretch between the ear and the shoulder without pinching and without pain. Breathe into the areas that feel tight or restricted, expanding them with your breath. As you exhale, let them melt. And then let your head drop back, your chin up towards the ceiling, feeling a stretch up the front of your throat. No pinching or pain. If it feels like tingling or numbness or just discomfort, lower your chin down. Make the pose less intense. With your next exhale, gently let your left ear come to your left shoulder. Gently pushing your right elbow down towards the floor. Anchors the pose and play with the position of your chin, turning gently up or down until you feel that stretch more intensely between the shoulder and the ear, your upper trapezius. And then gently let your chin come down your chest. As you inhale, bring your chin up to neutral, let your arms begin to float up towards the ceiling. So remember, you're trying to keep your shoulder blades down and away from your ears. It's called scapular depression. That's where stabilization happens. Reach your fingertips up, reach those shoulder blades down, and breathe. Take an exhale as your arms float back down to the floor. Just gentle motion to start to open up those shoulders to create mobility and fluidity. Inhaling them up towards the ceiling. Shoulder blades down and away from your ears. Exhaling back to the floor. So we're starting out very gently, warming up those shoulders. We've been asleep for the night. The arms haven't moved. One more time, take them up to the ceiling. Bringing your palms together into a prayer position. Gently press into your palms and bring them down towards the top of your head, across the front of your face, into the center of your chest. So you're gently pressing into your hands. That activates the muscles around the shoulder. Inhale them up across the front of your face. Exhale them up and overhead. Keep pressing into your palms. Deep inhale. Exhale them down one more time. In front of your chest. So you're just activating the muscles as you take your shoulders through their active range of motion. One more time up to the ceiling. Keep your arms there at the ceiling, separate your hands, and then turn them inside out so your palms are away from each other. The backs of your hands gently press into each other. Different muscle that you're activating. Exhale as you bring them down. You won't be able to go all the way down in the front of your chest unless you double joint it, and then I have a career for you in the circus. Inhale them up. Pressing gently into the backs of your hands. Exhale them back down to the front. Activating a different muscle group one more time. Take it up to the ceiling, inhaling. Exhale your right hand down to the floor to your right, and then reach that left arm up and over. You can look up at your arm if it doesn't bother your neck. But try to keep your left hip from coming up off the floor. So we need our rib cage to be able to move and elevate as well in order to have healthy shoulder motion. Inhale, really reach with that arm. Exhale, bring it back up to the ceiling. Backs of your hands pressing together. Exhaling, bringing them down in front of your face. Push into the backs of your hands as hard as you comfortably can, and then take those arms back up. Separating your hands, take your left hand down to the floor. Reach across with your right. Look up at the right arm if it doesn't bother your neck. Push gently down into your right hip, and then breathe into that rib cage on the right. No struggles and no strains. Breathe. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bring it back up. Backs of your hands come together one more time, taking them down as you press into the backs of your hands. Inhaling it up. Turning your palms to face each other, interlacing your fingers and bringing them gently back and behind your head. So we're going to take some more motion for your thoracic spine. As you inhale, lift your chest and slightly bend backwards. Push your elbows to the back of the room. As you exhale, round forward, bringing your elbows together, gently pulling your chin towards your chest. Inhale them up and back. Exhale, round it forward. Push the air out of your belly as your elbows come together, a rounding of your spine. One more time, inhale them up and back. Spread that chest open and wide. Exhale, round together. Round forward, sorry. And then keep your arms right where they are. Bring your spine to straight. Your fingers interlaced behind your ears. Try to make some small circles with your elbows. So you're doing backward circles. Inhaling up, exhaling back and down. Just small circles. You may notice that one shoulder moves a little easier than another one. It's perfectly fine. And then change the direction of your circles. Connect your circles to your breath, so slow it down. Inhale up one side of the circle, exhale down the other. One more full circle, and then bring your elbows back to its neutral position. And then separate your arms, push away the walls. Your fingertips are up, the palms of your hands are reaching in opposite directions. Lengthen your spine and inhale. With an exhale, bring your left arm across the front of your body. Hold on to that elbow with your right hand. And then feel that left shoulder. Do you feel like you pulled it all the way up to your ear? Gently try to take it down. If this feels too intense for you, just bend the elbow. Bending the elbow just shortens that bicep muscle. It shortens the lateral deltoid muscle. So it makes it a more gentle stretch of the capsule. Your shoulder is surrounded by a fibrous capsule that's really, really strong. It's the thing that keeps your arm from pulling out of that socket. It takes a little bit of a hold and some gentle pressure to stretch that. One more deep inhale. Feel it expand your belly. As you exhale, separate your arms, push away the walls. Fingertips back, reaching with the heels of your hands in opposite directions. Take a deep inhale. With an exhale, take your right arm across the front of your body. Your left hand holds the right elbow. No pinching, no pain. And breathe. Bending the elbow if that feels like it's too intense for you, or keeping it straight, whichever you'd like. Right shoulder down and away from your ears. Close your eyes. Breathe into the area that feels tight or restricted. As you exhale, melt. And then separate your arms. Pull the fingers back. Reach those heels of those hands in opposite directions. Lengthen. As you exhale, bring your right arm underneath of your left and try to intertwine your arms so that your elbows are stacked one on top of the other. If the palms don't meet, that's perfectly fine. You can just have the back of your hands, or even just your right hand down the outside of your left elbow. Bring attention to your shoulders, that they're relaxed and down and away from your ears. As you inhale, we're going to start to make a circle out to the left, up to the top. As you exhale, bring it down to the right, into the center. Follow your breath, inhaling up to the left, exhaling down to the right. No pinching and no pain. One more circle towards the left. Exhaling down, connecting your breath to your motion. And then we'll take the circle in the opposite direction, inhaling to the right and up. Exhaling down and to the left. Inhaling up and to the right. Exhaling down to the left. One more time, inhaling up and to the right. Exhaling down to the left. Coming back to the center, just breathing for a moment. Take a deep inhale, and exhale, separate your arms, pushing away the walls, lengthen. Take a deep inhale here, with an exhale, take your left elbow underneath your right. We're doing the exact same thing, opposite side. Remember, no pinching and no pain. Find an expression of each in every pose that you can hold with ease. You can bring your attention back to the breath. You can bring your attention to the connection of your breath to your motion. Inhaling up to the right. Exhaling down to the left and back to center. Breathing through, inhaling up. Exhaling down. One more time. Close your eyes with this one. Inhale it up and feel those shoulders. Exhale it gently down. With your eyes open or closed, just reverse the directions of your circles. Inhaling your arms up to the left. Exhaling it down to the right. Inhaling it up. Exhaling it down. One more time, inhaling it up. Exhaling it down. Beautiful. Your arms are at the center, just moments held here. Feel the shoulders, take a deep inhale. With an exhale, gently separate your arms, push away the walls. Take a deep inhale here, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, bring your arms behind you. Interlace your fingers and reach down towards the floor. Lift your chin and your chest and arch slightly backwards. As you exhale, round forward, leaving your wrists, your fingers, your hands right on your waist. Try to bring your forehead towards the floor. Take a deep inhale and either stay right here as you are, or with an exhale, lift your arms from the floor. Lift your arms high towards the sky, no pinching, no pain. And then exhale, bring them back down to your hips, gently rounding your spine back up to straight. Once your spine is straight, keeping those fingers interlaced, see if you can bring both of them over to your right hip. This is a really deep stretch of that left shoulder. So if you don't make it to the hip, that's perfectly fine. They can be right at the midline of your body. If they're at the midline of your body, just bend your elbows so your arms aren't straight. If you bend your elbows, you'll be getting a little bit more of that internal rotation stretch. Breathe into the areas that feel tight or restricted. Imagine that you're expanding any tight areas with your breath. As you exhale, melt. Release any tension, release any trying, any effort. Take a deep inhale. Either stay right here where you are, or with an exhale, turn towards your right. Turn to look over your right shoulder if that doesn't bother your neck, and breathe. Breathe deeply. Exhale slowly. Take a deep inhale. With an exhale, bring it back to the center. Drop your knuckles down to the floor. Inhale. Lift your chin and chest, arching gently back. Exhale, rounding forward. Bringing your forehead to the floor. If it doesn't meet the floor, use a block, use a pillow, use your dog. Stay here with an exhale. Lift your hands from your back up towards the sky. And then exhale back down to your hips and slowly beginning to round your spine back up to a tall, straight spine. Once your spine is tall and straight, take it to the opposite side. So your your fingers are still interlaced, bringing both hands over to your left hip if that's available to you without pinching, without pain. You may be able to do something on one shoulder and not the other. That's perfectly fine and normal as well. Take a deep inhale and with an exhale, melt. Allow that right shoulder to just gently drop down. Breathe into it as if it was expanding with your breath. And with the exhale, release any tension, any trying. A deep inhale to your belly, with an exhale slowly turning to your left if that's available to you, looking over your left shoulder. Be mindful of your shoulders. If it doesn't feel right for you, take the pose back to a position of comfort and ease. And breathe. One more deep inhale. With an exhale, come back to the front. Drop the knuckles to the floor. Inhale it up, arching it back. Exhaling it forward. Inhaling, staying here, or letting your arms rise up towards the ceiling. Exhaling them back to your hips, gently rounding yourself back up, releasing your arms and just shaking them out. So this is where you might want to use your strap or a dog leash or electric cord, a piece of rope, whatever you like, a towel. We're going to put that rope in your right hand, whatever it is you're holding. We're going to inhale both arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, take your left arm behind you and see if you can find that towel or that strap. And then you have a couple of options. You can either just take that right arm and bring that strap over your shoulder, or you can start to walk your right arm down to meet your left, so that your hands come together at the back, or they come close using the strap as the thing that brings them close. Remember, this is really intense, no pinching or pain. If your fingertips meet, that's great. Try to interlace them and bring them together. See if you can make your right elbow point up towards the sky, your left elbow point down towards the floor. Stay right here, breathing into the areas of tightness or restriction, or with an exhale, fold forward, bringing your chest down towards your legs. Wherever you are, be mindful that you don't have any pinching or pain. If it hurts now, it's going to hurt later. Find the expression of the pose you can hold with ease, without struggles, without strains. One more deep inhale. With an exhale, if you're folded forward, gently bring yourself back up to a tall, straight spine, and then release your arms slowly and shake them out. Give yourself a couple of shoulder shrugs, some rolls up towards the ears and back, and then reverse directions. Give yourself a little scratch or a big one. And then take that strap in your left hand. We're going to do the same thing to the opposite side. We're going to inhale both arms up to the ceiling. Your shoulder blades stay away from your ears. Exhale, take your right arm behind you, reaching for that strap. And then you have the choice. Either just drape that strap or that towel over your left shoulder and stay right there working on one arm, or walk your left arm down to meet your right. Using the towel to bring you closer if it's possible without pinching or pain, making sure that your elbows are pointed straight up and straight down, not forward. Staying right where you are or folding forward from your hips towards the floor and breathing. Breathing gently into your belly so it expands. Even folded forward, you can feel that expansion. Exhaling, melting into your pose, releasing to a more appropriate spot if that's what needs be. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. If you're folded forward, gently begin to bring yourself up and then slowly release your arms. Breathing, shaking them out, giving yourself a couple more little shoulder rolls. Perfect. We've gotten through most of the hard things with the shoulder. Let's try and take you to just one more thing. This is a stretch of the posterior capsule, or the anterior capsule, the front of your shoulder. That capsule needs to be stretched in all directions. So what you do here is you straighten your legs out. Your arms are right out next to you. Fingers are pointed forward and gently pressed down into the floor. Lengthen your pose, so pull the toes back, reach the heels forward, turn your fingertips to face behind you, and then slowly start to walk your arms back. Just find the place where you begin to feel a stretch in the front of your shoulder. If this feels like it's too much for your wrists, you can go down on your elbows. You just have your elbows back and behind your shoulders, as opposed to your whole arm. Close your eyes and breathe. Remember, if we want to take any pose further, just gently walk it back, but do it as an exhale. You can look straight ahead, or you can drop your head back. Whatever feels good for you. Breathe into the areas you feel tight or restricted. No struggles and no strains. Breathe. So you can make the choice of staying right where you are, or walking your hands back towards your hips, pushing down onto the floor and lifting your hips up in a reverse plank. Find the pose that is correct for your body and hold it. If you're in reverse plank, pull your shoulder blades down and away from your ears. Pull your shoulder blades together and lift your hips. And then slowly lower your hips to the ground. Slowly walk your hands back towards your hips. Inhale your arms towards the sky. Shoulder blades away from your ears. Exhale, fold forward. So you're bringing your hands to the bottoms of your feet or to the ankles, even just to the calf, wherever they find themselves. Push down into the back of your knees, trying to release your hamstrings. Believe it or not, tightness in your hamstrings can have a cause and effect for shoulder pain and even neck pain. When they're tight, they act as anchors to your pelvic mobility. If your pelvis can't move, then the spine starts to move more. And then the rest of your spine tries to find stability. It can lock the shoulders down. So never underestimate the benefit of a good hamstring stretch or what it may affect. Big breath, deeply inhaling, slowly exhaling. And slowly bring yourself up to a small straight position. We're going to just bend your right knee, bring it in towards your chest. So the left leg is out straight, the toes are pointed. We're going to take a deep inhale, the arms raise up overhead. As an exhale, gently fold halfway forward. Point your fingers to where the wall meets the ceiling, and then as you inhale, reach out to that space. As you exhale, fold forward. So we're going to stretch this individual hamstring, but we're going to add a shoulder component to this as well. As you take your right hand off of your foot, reach it as far forward as you can, and then wrap it around that right knee. If you can get your fingertips into the little crease between the belly and the thigh, that's great. And then slowly let that right leg drop out to the right. That's taking that internal rotation to the deepest point that it's been. So if this does not feel right for you, allow yourself to come out of it. And just take the forward fold to the hamstring. Push down into that back of that left hamstring and breathe. No struggles, no strains. One more deep inhale, lengthen your spine. One more slow exhale, gently fold further forward if it's available to you. And then slowly release that right arm. Slowly bring your spine back to straight. And we'll take the same pose on the opposite side. The right leg straightens, the left knee bends. We're inhaling your arms to the sky. We're exhaling forward, bringing your hands to the bottom of your right foot. You can stay right here, gently pushing down at the back of your right knee to release that hamstring. Or on an exhale, release your left hand, reach around the outside of that left knee, and then gently let that left knee drop out towards the left. Feel that stretch in your shoulder. It's a really good way to open that internal rotation stretch. Internal rotation is the direction you use to tuck in a shirt or fasten a bra or wash your back. It's not one that we spend more than just minutes a day in. So it tends to get tight. Respect your body. If it doesn't feel good, release it. One more deep inhale, one more slow exhale. And then slowly release that arm if you bound it. Slowly unfold, bringing yourself back up. Bring both feet in to meet each other, and let's just take a small cobbler's pose. I like the cobbler's pose because it brings balance to both sides of the hip. When we do one side and then the other, we bring it together with this. Inhale. As you exhale, either gently push your knees down towards the floor or fold forward. Or stay right where you are, enjoying the stretch of the internal thigh muscles without struggle and without strain. Breathe. Lengthening your spine with an inhale. Folding further forward with an exhale if it's available to you. No struggles and no strains. One more deep inhale. One more slow exhale. And then gently begin to bring your spine back to straight. Gently bring yourself onto all fours. So we're going to go into a deeper little bit with shoulder, but also thoracic rotation. We do thread the needle. So thread the needle is meant to be a deep stretch of the lateral capsule, the deltoid, and the rhomboids. It's not meant to hurt. So starting on your hands and knees, if you have bad knees or it feels like it's pressure, just double up your yoga mat and put a pillow underneath it. So let's flatten out the tops of your feet. Your shoulders are just above your hands. Your hips are just above your knees. Let's loosen these up a little bit more in weight bearing. So just shifting your shoulders forward in front of your hands and then backwards so that your hips come towards your heels. Try to keep your elbows straight. Try to keep the creases of your elbows turned forward. So opening up your shoulders when they're not weight bearing is one thing. When you put some weight through them and you start to make motion, you create a fluid that lubricates the joint. The joints are lined with what's called cartilage, and cartilage does not have much of a blood supply. It gets its nutrient from a fluid called synovium. Stop and put your shoulders right above your hands, your hips right above your knees, and slowly start to circle your shoulders around your hands. That synovial fluid is what gives nutrient to the cartilage, to the ligaments, to the tendons that make up a big part of what your shoulder is. So doing these is just a way of lubricating and giving nutrient to those structures that rarely get that through your blood. So it's a really good thing to do on a daily basis before you go to bed, especially if you sleep at night and you have sore, achy shoulders. Just plop down on the floor, do this, do a couple of cat and cow, which we're going to do in a moment. Take that shoulder to that circle to the opposite direction. Circling, connecting your circles to your motion. What is it? I think there's a doggy outside the window. Lola. Now bring your shoulders just above your hands, your hips just above your knees. Let's take a couple of cat and cows, moving that thoracic spine. Inhaling to cow, your belly drops, your chin rises. Exhaling, round your spine, drop your chin, pull your belly to your spine. Y'all didn't know Lola could bark, did you? She's showing off the range of her talents. Inhale, your belly drops, your chin rises. Push down into the floor with your hands as you round into cat. Your belly to your spine, separate your shoulder blades. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. One more time, full cow. One more time, full cat. And then bring yourself back to a flat back. Separate your knees so they come to the outside edges of your mat. Bring your left hand to the center, right underneath of your chin. The crease of your left elbow turned forward. Take your right arm out to the side. Reach for the wall. Inhale, take that arm up to the ceiling. Follow it with your eyes. Exhale, take it under you. Don't thread the needle fully just yet. The back of your right hand on the floor. Inhale that right arm back up to the sky. Exhale it to the floor. Inhale it one more time to the sky. Exhale it one more time underneath of you. And then you take the progression of your thread the needle if you'd like. Coming down to your elbow, you can stay right up on that left arm if you want, or bringing your right ear all the way to the floor. Breathe. Wherever you are, gently try to draw your right shoulder down away from your right ear. Breathe. Breathe into the areas that feel tight or restricted. Release any tension or trying or effort. If the pose doesn't feel good here, it's not going to feel good afterwards. Stay here where you are or lift your left leg, pointing the toes of your left foot to the wall or against the ceiling behind you. Breathe. And then gently bring that left knee back down to the floor. If it's within your knees, drop your hips all the way down to your heels. If it bothers your knees, you can put a pillow between your thighs and your calves, or just stay up with your hips raised into the sky. Wherever you are, feel the next breath. As if it was expanding that shoulder. As you exhale, see if you can melt away a little bit of tension, a little bit of tightness. And then slowly begin to slide your left hand down towards your left knee. Push up with that left arm, bringing yourself to the left hand, the left knee, and the left foot in one line, taking your right foot back to meet that line, and then taking your right arm up to the sky. So you can make this a little bit easier if you have a balance issue by taking your left foot and just swinging it off your mat onto the floor, and then trying to raise your right leg. Look up at your right arm if it doesn't bother your neck. Feel the strength of the pose. Take a deep inhale. With an exhale, let your right arm come forward, reaching towards the room in front of you. And then exhale it down to the floor. Imagine you're coming down on the clock at 6 o'clock. Inhale it back to 12. Exhale it forward and then down to the floor. Inhale it back up. One more time. Exhale it down to the floor and back up. Brilliant. Drop the right foot, drop the right hand, and come back on all fours. We'll do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So start by positioning your knees at the outside of your mat. The big toes come together. Bring the right hand to the center of the mat, right into your chin. Lift your left arm, reaching for the wall out to the left. Really reach. And then inhale it up to the sky. Exhale it down underneath of you. The back of your left hand touches the floor. Inhale it up to the sky. Exhale it back down. Inhale up. This one we're going to hold it down there. So take the back of your left hand to the floor underneath of you. Keep your right arm straight, but bring it down to the elbow. Even take your left ear all the way to the floor if you'd like. And then gently draw your left shoulder down away from your left ear and breathe. This pose is perfect just as it is, as long as it doesn't cause you any pain. Breathe into the tightness. Stay here or lift your right foot, pointing the toe to where the wall meets the ceiling behind you. Breathe. And then bring that right knee down. If it's within your possibility, your movement, pain-free, drop your hips all the way to your heels. Wherever you are, close your eyes for a moment and breathe. Feel the expansion of your rib cage. Imagine the expansion of that shoulder, and with an exhale, melt. No struggles, no strains. Slowly slide your right hand back towards you. Use that right arm to push you up. Your right hand, your right knee, and your right foot are all in one line. The crease of your right arm turned forward. Bring your left foot back to that line. And bring your left arm up to the sky. If you need a little bit more help with balance, take your right foot and swing it off the mat, and then lift your left leg from the ground. Feel the strength of the pose. Take a deep inhale. With an exhale, your left arm reaches forward, your bicep near your ear, and then down to the floor as if you were bringing it around the clock. Inhale it up. Exhale it to the floor. Inhale. Exhale down. One more time, all the way up to the ceiling, all the way down to the floor, and then bring yourself back onto all fours. Knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders. Let's take a small child's pose. So in this child's pose, what I'd like you to do is take your arms back and behind you as opposed to out front. See if you can get your forehead to the ground or balanced on a block or a pillow so that your neck is supported. Close your eyes and breathe. Breathe into your belly. Exhale slowly. One more deep inhale. One more slow exhale. And then slowly bring yourself up to thunderbolt position. So thunderbolt is just hips on the ankles. Knees are severely bent. So if this doesn't feel right for you, just skip it. We're going to be here for just a second as we just roll the shoulders out. So if you need to sit in a regular seated position to roll your shoulders out, then do that. Do what is right for your body without pushing. There's no forcing in yoga. So we're going to do some down dogs and some variations of down dogs. And one of the variations might be for you not doing it at all. Brilliant, bravo. Do whatever pose you would like to in this transition. Another transition for you or variation for you might be doing a down dog on your elbows. Brilliant. Do what works for you. So come up onto your hands and knees. Turn the creases of your elbows forward. That is a strong position for the muscles of your shoulder. Curl the toes of your feet under, plant them into the ground, and with an exhale, lift your hips to the sky. So in your down dog, your arms being straight and your legs being straight is what holds you up. So your shoulders should not feel a lot of effort here. Let your head dangle, and your arms going to fit it in. And breathe. Push the back of your knees to the back of the room. Lift your hips towards the sky. Try to bring your chest a little closer to your legs. And then let your neck relax. And breathe. Slowly bring yourself forward to plank. Creases of your elbows stay forward. Slowly bring yourself back to down dog. Slowly bring yourself forward to plank. Slowly bring yourself back to down dog. One more time to plank. You get to stay right here. You get to drop down to your knees or take side plank, lifting your right arm from the floor up to the sky. Staying there or lifting your right leg from top of your left. Find the expression of each pose you can hold with ease. And then bring it back to forward plank. Back to down dog. Back to forward plank. Stay there. So drop down to your elbows, drop down to your knees. But keep the creases of your elbows forward as you take side plank. Lifting your left leg from your right if you'd like. And then bringing it back. To forward plank and to down dog. Lift your heels from the ground, drop your knees, and let's bring it back to child's pose. Let's let those shoulders relax, drawing your hands back towards your feet. And breathe. Close your eyes for a moment and see if you can bring all of your focus and attention to just the sensation of the breath as it enters your nostrils down towards the rib cage. Feel that rib cage expanding forward and out to the side. As you exhale, allow it to melt. And breathe. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then slowly slide your arms along the floor forward. Slowly push yourself back up onto your hands and knees. Curl the toes under and let's take it back to down dog. So you're going to have an option here. This is a challenging move, so you can stay right here in down dog, trying to push the back of your knees towards the wall behind you, trying to lift your hips, or bring your elbows down towards the floor, and then push them back up straight. This is a really good strengthener of the triceps and the biceps. You can stay in down dog. We're only doing 5 of these. Drop those elbows to the floor and back. 2 more, elbows to the floor and back. 1 more, elbows to the floor and back to down dog. Lift the heels, drop to the knees, and bring it back to child's pose. Slowly breathing into those shoulders, releasing. That's the end of our strengthening part of the shoulders. We're going to do a couple more mobility things, but we're going to do those lying on your back. So take your time getting yourself up out of child's pose and bringing yourself flat onto your back. Make sure that you're supported. So I'm going to give you a little suggestion. If you want to take this a little bit deeper, what you can do is roll up a small towel and lie down on it so that small towel is right along the spine. What that does is open up your pec muscles in the front. Your knees are bent, your arms are by your side. The backs of your hands are resting on the floor, palms facing up. With an inhale, start to slide your arms up the floor like you're making a snow angel. Stop if you feel pain or if your hands leave the floor, because that's as far as you can go without your pec muscles starting to contract and pulling them up. So inhale them all the way up as high as you can, even if they don't touch at the top, and then exhale them back down. Try to breathe into your belly as you let those arms slide up. Follow your breath. So that towel underneath you, along the spine is just a way of progressing this a little bit more. Inhaling your arms, sliding them up the floor. Don't let the backs of your hands leave the floor. Exhaling them back down. One more time. Follow your own breath. Inhale as you slide your arms up along the floor. Stop if there's pain. Stop if the backs of your hands leave the floor. And exhale them back down by your sides. We're going to stop right at 90 degrees. So your arms are going to be out like the letter T at the level of your chest. Take a deep inhale. With an exhale, lift your knees, hit your feet from the floor so that your knees come up. Your hips and knees at 90 degrees. Take a deep inhale here with an exhale. Your belly comes to your spine, your knees drop to the right. And breathe. See if you can get your knees all the way to the floor. I'm just going to make sure I just turn off the microphone. It's still working. So your knees are all the way to the floor, your arms are out like a letter T, and you're trying to just breathe. We're twisting through the thoracic and lumbar spine, the place where they join. So when this moves, your shoulders will move better. Take a deep inhale. With an exhale, your belly comes to the spine, your knees lift from the floor and go all the way over to the left. Try to make that journey through the length of your breath. You can turn your head to the right if that doesn't bother your neck. Breathe. Breathe into the areas that feel tight or restricted. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, belly to the spine and knees lift. Come all the way back to the right. We're going to leave them there on the floor on the right. We're going to take a deep breath here with an exhale just melting. Now, if this hurts your shoulders, you have the options of just sliding your hands down closer towards your hips. They don't have to be at the level of your shoulders. So find an expression of each and every pose you can do without pain. You can do with ease. You can even take that left arm and just bend the elbow, let your left hand rest on your left hip. You just have the elbow behind you. It's another option. Find one where you can breathe, where you can bring your focus and attention back to the depth of your breath. So take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, let your left arm come up to the ceiling and all the way over to the right. So you end up lying on your right side, your palms met together, your arms at about the level of your shoulders. Take a deep inhale as your left arm rises up to the ceiling. Exhale as it falls to the floor behind you. So now we're moving that thoracic lumbar spine motion, or that segment from the top down as opposed to the bottom up. Inhale, exhale, take that left arm up to the ceiling and all the way back to meet the right. One more time. Inhale the left arm up to the sky. Exhale to the floor behind you. We're going to leave it right there. So your arms are spread out like the letter T. Take a deep inhale to your belly. With an exhale, your belly comes to your spine. Your knees lift from the floor and come all the way over towards the left. Finding yourself in the open position that we started on the other side. You can turn your head to the right if that bothers you, if it doesn't bother your neck. You can lower that right arm down towards your hip or even bend the right elbow, bringing the right hand to rest on the right hip. Find an expression of pose that you can hold with ease. We can breathe into the areas that feel tight or restricted, We can release any tension with your exhale. Take a deep inhale here. With an exhale, the right arm comes up to the sky and all the way over to meet the left. Follow your own breath. Inhale to the ceiling. Exhale to the floor behind. Inhale. Exhale. A full journey. That right arm rises to the sky, all the way over to meet the left. One more time. Inhale it up to the ceiling. Exhale it down to the floor behind you, and we're going to stay right there for a moment. Just feel that thoracic area, that rotation is really good. This is another one that's really good to do on a daily basis. The more you keep the spine healthy, which means mobile, the better it's going to serve you. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bring your knees up towards the ceiling, your flat back, and then gently put your feet down. Gently bring your arms in by your side. And then we're going to slowly push up onto your elbows, straightening out your legs. So just prop yourself up on your elbows. We're going to do that modified fish pose I told you about. You can do the regular fish pose if that's in your practice and you feel good about that. Basically what the regular fish pose is bringing your elbows back and together, closing them in towards your hips, lifting your chin and your chest, dropping your head back. Now in full fish pose, you would have your head supported on the floor. I don't like that. I don't think it's good for your neck at all. But if you'd like to do a modification, you can take a block and put it right along your spine so that it hits right between your shoulder blades. So that supports your pose. So your elbows are there, your thoracic spine rests on the block, and then you can just drop your head back. If that feels uncomfortable for your neck, just leave your chin forward, looking down at your feet. Push down into your elbows, try to lift your chest, and then let the thoracic spine come to rest on the block. Find the expression of the pose you can hold with ease, without pain, without struggle, and without strain. One more deep breath here. Really see if you can expand that rib cage. Expand your chest up. As you exhale, slowly lift your chin and your chest. Slowly walk yourself back down to a flat back position, preparing for final relaxation. Shavasana. So I've said it before and I'll say it again, Shavasana is actually one of the more challenging poses. A lot of people just get up and leave. But it's the time where your central nervous system absorbs the information from the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, the ways that you just stretched it. To take that time. The benefit is compounded, just like today's charity donation. Our charity today is the Abandoned Pet Rescue. It's a place here, it's a no-kill shelter here in Florida, and they happen to be having their 25th anniversary where all of their donations are being matched. So that means two times the money, and Lola would appreciate it. So as we find ourselves into our Shavasana pose, close your eyes, let your arms be gently by your side with palms turned up if that feels comfortable. Have your chin gently pointing down your body as opposed to up towards the sky. If your back feels strained or uncomfortable, slide a pillow underneath of your knees so that you have a small bend in your knees. If you feel cold from the air conditioning or being in the blustering north, put yourself a blanket. It's perfectly fine. Find a place where you can bring all of your focus and attention to your next breath. To the gentle inhale through your nose to the bottom of your lungs. As you exhale, feel that air as it leaves your body. Gently warmed. Take another deep inhale through the nose to the bottom of your lungs. Gently exhale and allow the air to seep out. I'm going to ask that you imagine yourself lying on the ground with your feet pointed towards a wonderful campfire, a fire, warm, crackling, a nice amber glow. Feel the warmth from the bottom of your feet. Imagine in your mind's eye that the fire is just dancing there, filled with energy. As you take a deep inhale to your belly, imagine that that breath is drawing that warmth, that amber light, up through the soles of your feet, across your ankles and into your calves. Imagine that that warmth is just relaxing those muscles. Imagine that that warmth is melting away tension. With your next deep inhale, drawing that breath in deeply to the bottom of your lungs, imagine it draws the energy from that warm fire, that amber light, up over your ankles, across your calves, into the knees, into your quadriceps, your thighs. Imagine the entirety of your legs warmed and energized, rejuvenated by the energy of that warm campfire. Your next breath, drawn deeply into the bottom of your lungs, draws that warm light, that crackling fire energy through the bottoms of your feet, across your calves, your thighs, and into your hips. Imagine that that warmth is just melting away resistance. Imagine sending healing energy to the cartilages, the muscles. Imagine it bringing ease to the entire lower part of your body. Take another deep inhale. Feel the breath as it enters your nose, as it expands your diaphragm. Feel that warmth being drawn up through the soles of your feet, across your legs, into the belly and the low back. Like a warm bath bringing soothing energy, helping to release tightness, restrictions, helping to release worries and fears. If only for just these few moments, let that energy ease any tensions, mental or physical. Your next deep inhale draws that energy up over your lower body, across your hips, your back, your belly, into the fingers, the wrists, and the forearms, to the bottom of your rib cage, glowing amber warm, healing, calming, soothing. Another deep breath, drawing that energy up through your lower body, across the trunk, into the shoulders and the ribs. Feel those shoulders luxuriating in that warmth, in that ease. Imagine that amber light is releasing tension, releasing worries and fears, releasing judgments of yourself or others. And take one more deep inhale, drawing that energy across the fullness of your body, through the bottoms of your feet, across your calves and your quads, through the belly and the hips, the arms, the shoulders, the neck, and the head, encompassing your entire body in that healing, warm, glowing energy, revitalizing, reinvigorating every cell. Replacing tension with ease. Replacing chaos, replacing it with stillness. gently bring your mind to a thought of gratitude for this practice, for your body being able to move in this practice, for you simply showing up to this practice. Every journey starts with just one step. And if your journey is to help or healing, you've made an investment in your tomorrow. So bring to mind a thought of gratitude for whatever you wish, but don't forget gratitude for yourself. For all the lessons you've learned, for the journey that you've taken to get here, for the decisions that you'll make for the future. And then release your thought of gratitude and let your mind come to stillness. Let any thought or distraction be noticed but not attached to. Become the observer of your mind. Notice the words, notice the internal chat. Notice the stories that try to bubble in to disturb your stillness, but don't attach to them. And then slowly start to bring your attention back to your body by wiggling your fingers and wiggling your toes and just feeling those joints. Bring awareness to that part of your body. Spread your fingers apart and spread your toes apart and feel the space between your fingers. Feel the space between your toes. Curl your fingers into a fist, curl your toes under and feel the skin as it stretches over the knuckles and over the tops of your feet. And then let your hands and your feet relax. Take a deep inhale. Let your shoulders glide up towards your ears. With an exhale, let your arms slide down the mat, just gently stretching, place between your shoulders and your neck. We've done a lot of work there today. Take a moment to breathe into that space and let your shoulders relax. Gently let your head rock from side to side on the floor, just moving your neck in whatever way feels good for it, just bringing awareness to that body part. Let your head come to rest wherever it feels itself comfortable. Take a deep inhale. Let your arms rise up towards the ceiling. Fill your lungs. With an exhale, let your arms fall back to the floor behind you. If it feels like pinching or pain in your shoulders, just let them drop out to the sides with your elbows bent like a field goal. Inhale, reach those fingertips back. Reach the heels of your feet forward and feel that stretch along the length of your body. And with an exhale, draw your knees to your chest. Let your arms float down to wrap around your knees. Hugging them into your chest, letting your shoulders relax, letting your jaw relax. Just gently rocking from side to side on the floor, bringing awareness to the spine. And then when you're ready, roll onto your right side. Fetal position. Your knees gently tucked up towards your chest, your head supported with a block or your hands made into pillows, and just bring your awareness to one more breath. Drawing deeply into the bottom of your lungs and slowly released. And then when you're ready, push yourself up to an easy seated position. An easy seated position is anyone where your spine is straight and tall and at ease. So if that means sitting up on a block or sitting up on a pillow, that can bring a lot of ease to your spine, believe it or not. It's my favorite way to sit. I don't feel ill at ease when I don't have a block underneath, but my spine feels one heck of a lot better when I do. Close your eyes and let the backs of your hands come to rest on the tops of your knees. As you inhale, lengthen your spine, reach the top of your head up towards the sky. As you exhale, see if you can hold that tall and lengthened posture with ease. Take another deep inhale. With an exhale, see if you can bring your hands into heart center, your palms gently pressed together in a prayer position, your thumbs gently pressed into your sternum. You guys have done an amazing job once again. I appreciate you showing up every week, and I know your body does. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. You guys are welcome to watch these classes anytime you like on this Facebook page. They are archived here, or on my website, www.body-guru.com. There's all kinds of information there, so please avail yourself of it. It's all free.